Hello, Buckos! Captain Bucko back again! And as promised, I am now back, showing you a little bit more of Destiny 2, my second review. This time, a little bit different. What I'm doing, Buckos, and what you're seeing here, why it looks a bit unusual, you're thinking, wow, what's with the big screen? How'd you do that, Bucko? Well, I have the Oculus Rift VR headset, and on the Oculus Rift there's like an app you can select called Xbox. Now what you can do with that, if you've got an Xbox, you've probably noticed that on Win 10 there's a way you can stream the Xbox direct via Win 10 onto your PC. Then you can just plug in an Xbox controller, even an Xbox 360 controller if you like, and play it. It'll then work from your Xbox streamed through your PC onto your screen. It works pretty well. And the beauty of this is, I guess, is that if someone wants to watch the TV and you want to play your game on your Xbox, well, you can do that just by streaming it to your computer. You don't need a very good computer to be able to run it. That's the other beauty about it. In fact, you can run it on any pile of crap that has Win 10. It can be even like an old dual core, an i3 or something like that, which would never run this sort of game. But it doesn't rely on your PC's hardware. It relies on your Xbox's hardware, and you're just merely streaming it. So this is the advantage. Now with the Oculus Rift, it's got the Xbox app built into it. In fact, Oculus and Xbox partnered up with a lot of things. They use the Xbox One controller for most of the Oculus Rift games. And Oculus is owned by Facebook. There was a lot of rumors at one point that there was going to be a compatibility mode made on the Xbox One X for Oculus Rift, but it never actually came, never eventuated. So this is the next best thing, basically. And what you end up looking at is a big screen. You're not in VR as such. I would liken it to playing a game on a giant screen in the cinema, if that makes any sense. You're sitting in front of it, it's a giant screen. You can increase the size of it, I do believe, to make it take up more of the screen. But this was big enough for me. Now, I've got it set on the highest possible quality settings. So, it depends on your internet speed, how high you will be able to get the settings, your streaming. I'm talking about the streaming settings. This is actually as high as it goes. As you can see, it's pretty good. It's not bad. But compared to the actually Xbox One X version on the TV, it looks a bit washed out. Not as colourful. Not as much texture detail. Not as sharp. So, it's more of a novelty thing, to be quite honest. I don't think you're going to sit there and play this for hours and hours via the Xbox One onto your Oculus. The reason being is that the refresh rate is definitely not 60 frames per second. It might be 30 to 40, and it doesn't matter how good your graphics card is, that's as good as you'll get it. I mean, I got one of the best ones you can get, so it's not going to get any better than this. It's playable, don't get me wrong, it's playable, but I did find it a little bit hard tracking like an enemy with a gun, trying to maintain my sights over them with the screen refresh rate. Wasn't up to it, so it made it hard to actually aim and fire and track them. So like I said, you're not going to sit there and use this for hours and hours, because it's going to end up pissing you off, and you're going to crack it, take your headset off and go back and play it on your TV, which on the Xbox One X I think this game plays at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. So Oculus Rift, I believe, is only, it may be 2K, it may be only 180p. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was only 180p. But anyway, for a novelty, it was worth a try. And definitely played a bit better on just the Xbox app streaming to your PC. The refresh rate on that is pretty much up to par with what's coming from your TV. But the quality is decreased because you're streaming it. But like I said, you can just play this if you've got an old laptop. Someone wants to play the TV, just stream it onto your old laptop, and now you've got full graphics on an old laptop. Anyway, I like the game. As you know, if you've watched my other review, I'm really impressed with the game. I like the concepts in it. The graphics is fantastic. I'm a big fan of graphics, as you've probably noticed. So it's one of the ways I actually enjoy a game more. I can feel the immersion more if the graphics are better. And on this one, I don't think they could have done any better. And if you've got an Xbox One X, you'll know that as far as consoles go, that one is as good as it gets. Like, it's honestly not a lot worse than my Nvidia 1080 graphics card on my PC. It's honestly, it plays everything pretty smoothly at 4K and at 60 frames per second. I could show you a couple of more games that would actually spin you out, that they've got this sort of power in such a small little console. But anyway, this has been my review for the Oculus Rift, playing the Destiny 2 via the Xbox One app. And if you've liked my video, hit subscribe and like it. And this has been Captain Bucko, One Kenobi, signing off.